Hey everyone, me Kevin here. We just sat through about a 1 hour and 34-minute series of a live stream listening to Biden, Jen Psaki, Pelosi, and how about I just give you the highlights, which I think will be a lot shorter than, actually I know it's going to be a lot shorter than an hour and a half. All right, so first, we heard from Pelosi, the latest on stimulus, and the latest is that on Monday, she hopes to start working on the specifics of the stimulus bill, or she says she will begin working on the specifics of the bill on Monday. She hopes that in 2 weeks, we'll be able to send something from the House to the Senate that will be able to begin getting voted on or potentially getting negotiated. Ultimately, she hopes, and lots of hoping, I know, that they will be done long before March 15th. When she said that, one of the reporters who was pretty close to the mic laughed and said, "So March 14th?" And that's also now leading to a lot of jokes that basically we might not see our stimulus checks until April Fool's Day, because if they get this done on the 14th, well, I mean, look at the current $600 tiny checks. It's been like, what? 4 or 5 weeks now, and people are still just now getting their checks. Anyway, Nancy Pelosi was also asked about the $2,000. Like, are we going to get the full $1,400? Is it going to get cut back? She says she's committed to doing the full $1,400. So that way it's $2,000 total if you count the $600 prior. She also says the game plan now is we're going to 100% focus now on the rescue plan. Then we will do the recovery plan. So the rescue plan is the stimulus package. The recovery plan is the infrastructure package. And then somewhere in between, maybe we'll have this immigration bill. Now, Nancy Pelosi was asked, well, what about tax reform? Are we going to see that this year? And she kind of lashed out at this. She's like, we're going to talk on this subject. And she kind of blew that off. So then she was asked again, can we get this done by March 15th? She says, absolutely. We've got the support to do it. Then there was a question about airline bailouts. So there are going to be more airline bailouts. One of the dudes was pretty pissed off when he replied. He basically said, we're not doing airlines, but he clarified that they are doing airlines. He's like, we're not providing money to the airlines. We're providing payroll support. So basically money is going to the employees of the airlines, with the restrictions that airlines do no dividends, no bonuses, and no buybacks for their stocks. Then Jen, and I'll save Biden for the last here. Jen Psaki, she probably took up most of the time. She talked a lot about a lot of different topics. I'll mostly just focus on stimulus here. So she also had Jared Bernstein come up, talk about the economy. One of the big things they brought up here that we haven't heard before, so I really want to hit the new things here, is that forbearance does not mean forgiveness. This is new because, I mean, we know that forbearance for houses doesn't mean forgiveness, but it's interesting that they bring this up because it kind of implies that maybe they're thinking about doing something for homeowners. Who knows? No guarantees. Maybe that's what they mean for the stimulus checks as a reason, like we got to get people money because forbearance doesn't mean forgiveness. I don't know. We also heard something new that there is a deflationary risk. In other words, we got to print money so that we don't have deflation, which makes sense because as you print money, technically you expand the money supply and you increase the chance of us seeing an inflation in consumer prices, which helps prevent prices from falling, which could create a deflationary vortex of people going, oh, well, why would I buy the boob headphones now if I could just wait to buy the boob headphones next year? They'll be cheaper, right? That's the deflationary spiral. People aren't incentivized to spend. So really you have this economic advisor coming up saying, hey, we should just do more stimulus because, hey, we want some inflation. All right, then we're wholly confident on rescue now, pursue a recovery later. There are politicians on both sides who want to do infrastructure, but that will come after. 18 of the last 24 budget recon bills have been bipartisan. Maybe this one will be as well. The Democrats are saying, hey, we actually have not gotten a counteroffer yet from Republicans. So maybe they should counteroffer our proposal. Republicans obviously say, what are you talking about? We have a $605 or $625 billion plan, and it's our tiny stimulus package. And I think Democrats are really kind of just blowing that off. That package obviously doesn't provide any support for state and local governments. It eliminates the $400 unemployment boost and only provides $300. So a lot of big differences. No boost to rental assistance was in there as well. In fact, here I could pull up quickly on the iPad. We'll just look at this really quick. This just gives you a quick reminder of the differences between the plans. Let's do a quick little, okay. There we go. Gotta get an actual pencil here. I think Jack or Max stole one of my pencils. Okay. Anyway, we won't use the pencil right now. So we know that Biden's plan is $1.9 trillion. We've got direct payments. We've got unemployment, right? It's a big plan. This is $1.9 trillion. And the Republicans, $618 billion. I've seen so many different estimates for it. It's much tinier. We can actually also look at here. This gives us an idea. There we go. So no money for state and local governments in the Republicans' plan. Much less money for the child tax credit. Small businesses get less money. No rental assistance. Actually, no child tax credits, right? So we get a little bit of a comparison there. All right, let's continue on and jump back to just really the new information that we heard from the press conference. A lot of it was repeated information, which is not so exciting. So we're going to cut out a lot of that. So one of the other things that Jen Psaki said was the vast majority of Americans support this plan. We're going to get this plan done. We have no expectations of not getting this $1.9 trillion plan done. I think Wall Street is still thinking this plan is going to get watered down to maybe a $1 trillion plan. I don't think people actually believe that Democrats are going to be able to push this through. We'll see. Jen Psaki even said, never doubt Pelosi, which I think many of us potentially will roll our eyes at that, because I think there's been plenty of reason to doubt Pelosi over the last year. And this isn't to be partisan, but I mean, how many times have we heard there's going to be heroes pay? How many times have we heard there's going to be retroactive unemployment pay, and it hasn't come through? Those are Pelosi's words, okay? It's not trying to bag on Dems. It's just a fact. All right. Then Joe Biden came out. Joe Biden said the virus is still wreaking havoc on the economy and us. January was the single deadliest month. We lost nearly 100,000 lives. The economy is still in trouble. Some want to do little or nothing at all. But if I'm going to act, it's going to be act fast and do big. So he wants to do a big plan fast. He says if he has to choose between helping Americans versus compromising, the answer will always be helping Americans. There's certainly a political spin on this, but I mean, Biden's being pretty blunt. He's saying, hey, look, we're going to do my $1.9 billion plan. We're not cutting the size of the check to $1,000 like Republicans want. We're going to do the $1,400 check as promised. Maybe we'll adjust the thresholds, though. And he did kind of reiterate maybe that we would see those thresholds that you could get the check if you're single making $40,000 and it fully cuts off at $50K. Which means for couples, you would get a full cutoff at $100,000. So really nobody making six figures as a family would be getting a stimulus check. Biden then went on to say that we have to do this recovery package so that way it doesn't take us until 2025 to recover to full employment. Instead, maybe we can get to full employment in 2022 or 2023. And he sees fiscal restraint, which is just a fancy way of saying Republicans saying, hey, we don't want to spend as much money. He thinks that fiscal restraint equals more pain for people longer. And he thinks that's wrong. He thinks people shouldn't have to suffer more for longer. He wants to eliminate or limit that suffering as soon as possible. So that's a full summary of what happened with these three different press conferences that took like 90 minutes, and we just did that in 9 minutes. So I think we basically divided by 10 there. I think that's pretty good. Keep in mind that Webull is still offering some free stocks. If you go to metkevin.com/Webull, sign up and deposit some money. Deposit $100 with M1 Finance at metkevin.com/M1. You will get $30. And if you want life insurance without having to talk to anyone at all, make sure you go to the link down below with metkevin.com/life. And you'll be able to sign up in as little as 5 minutes and get yourself life insurance. Thank you so very much for watching. I will be back later with more. All right. Thanks, everyone.